I'm going to talk about financial abuse. If you see, I had done one blog a few days ago about women and financial abuse. So let me make it very clear that it is not only women who are financially abused. It is also possible that that women may financially abuse their spouses. It may be a little difficult, but it is, you've seen this around. So what happens is, let's start this way. All relationships, whether it is parental or spousal or business, starts with the full amount of trust. I don't leave my I leave my purse anywhere in the house, I leave my phone anywhere in the house, it's not locked, nothing. I don't mind if my wife or daughter see what is there in my phone, perfectly all right, because you don't hide anything from them. But financial abuse starts when people start hiding and doing things like that. And this can start anytime. It is not as though the financial abuse starts on day one of marriage. It can start 20 years after marriage, and there could be, we will see a little more of it. But why does financial abuse happen? It's very difficult to say, and largely in case of men, it is maybe they start having affairs and they want to get rid of this wife, and so they do some kind of an abuse. The most amusing case that I've heard of is a woman who came back from office, found her husband in bed with another woman, and she stormed out of the house, went to some other place and said, I just want out of this marriage, etc., blah blah blah, and she got a divorce on his terms. Why am I saying his terms? Because she caught her husband exactly at a time when he knew that she would be coming home, right? So maybe it was planned so that she walks out without any alimony. So understand that financial abuse can go to such extreme sense also. To get rid of the spouse, they do such things. So what do women do to financially abuse their husbands? One, they earn money, or they give up their job saying, I will not go to a job. They may have kids, they may not have kids. Kids are an excuse, sometimes kids are not an excuse, whatever. So they stop working. Second, they start living it up and spending a lot of the husband's money and not leaving enough money for meeting the day-to-day needs. Third, I've seen women stopping men from doing extra, the side gig, and earning more money for whatever reasons. They want their husbands to be kept on a tight leash. They ask for more and more money for expenses, and when you ask the spouse to shift to a credit card for paying for expenses, she says, no, I will pay only cash. So you do not know how much of it is accounting, how much of it is not being accounted. So if you ask me, women also abuse men, but it is less financial, it is more physical, in the sense that preventing the husband from meeting his family and things like that. I've seen both. But I am not going to talk of that kind of an abuse, because that is there, the physical abuse and all that is there, and there are lots of problems and there have to be solutions for them. I am going to restrict myself to just the financial abuse, and to tell you what are the ways of financial abuse happens, and if you are a victim, will you be able to even find out that you are being financially abused? Because sometimes people don't even know that they are being financially abused, right? So what really happens in financial abuse? First, I'm assuming for a minute that I'm talking about man and a woman, because I'm talking of a live case. I know that this is happened and happening and will continue to happen, because that woman, for whatever reasons, doesn't want to come out of the relationship. So be it. I'm not commenting whether she should, whether she can, whether she must. It's her choice, right? We as counselors or advisors can see what is happening, can comment about it, but we cannot do much more than that. So first of all, restricting access to money. So this woman takes up a job, earns money, puts it in a bank account which her husband controls, right? Why he does that, I can have plenty of explanations, but that's what happens. She does not get to access her own money. Her own money, she has to, she gets the quota. She gets an X amount per month, and that's all she can touch. The other money gets invested or spent or whatever. She doesn't have access. He does not pay for any of her expenses. She has to pay for it herself. The children's school fees he pays as if he's doing them a favor, but yes, that he pays, and he's also investing some money for the children. That is also happening. He refuses to pay some of the household bills which he has to pay, and he even tried forbidding her from earning money, but that couldn't happen because he was traveling when she took up a job, and he's not. But yes, there is physical abuse. So whenever something goes wrong, he just smashes her up, and she's fine with that, and she doesn't want to walk out of that relationship. I'll get into how it started. He also hides a lot of his assets, does not tell her what he has invested, where he has invested, what house he has, nothing. That very little data is available to her. Her data is totally available to him because he uses his chartered accountant to file his return and her return. So she gets a salary. Yes, she earns about 10-12 lakhs a year, about 1 lakh a month, and with which she can live comfortably even if she were to walk out of the marriage. But for some emotional reason, she will not walk out of the marriage. He will not take any risky behavior, but his planning for his retirement, etc., is pathetic. But he has a lot of money, so that's not really a problem. So he does not gamble, he does not drink, he does not do anything. So there is no explanation as to why he is hammering the hell out of her. I have an explanation for that, is because she has not been a very good investor and she has made investing mistakes, and he thinks it's a solid enough excuse to abuse her. So therefore he abuses her, and that's it. Now I'm not getting into justifying what he has done. I'm just trying to tell you that these are the things which happen, and the impact of this is she's totally battered, bruised. Her children have been impacted. So on a day when she talks in a raised voice to somebody, the son asks, what happened? Has dad come home, right? And because she raises her voice only with her husband, and she's used to, the children are used to her talking to her spouse or their father in an increased tone. With others, she's very soft and polite, right? He abuses her so much that her parents know this, but still they are not in a very great mood to let her come out of that relationship. How does it affect the children? I'm sure it affects the children, but I don't think she understands that it affects the children. So, or she's not willing to accept that she needs to make a change. Does she have a choice? Yes, she has a choice, because she's a qualified person. She's got a job. She's earning money. She can walk out. She has access to a lawyer. She has spoken to me. All that has happened. But no, she's refusing to come out of that relationship. Can we be judgmental in why people refuse to come out of a relationship? I don't know whether we should be. It doesn't really matter. So first of all, accept one thing, that men can be abusive, women can also be abusive. Women can abuse in a very different way of not cooperating, of spending too much, not allowing any investments to be made, especially if the husband understands all this. Then he is very perturbed as to what to do. Then by preventing him from meeting the children when he wants, meeting the children alone, taking the children to his parents' house, his sister's house, his friend's house. So all that happens, right? So, and also what happens in a relationship, one person creates the image of being the victim, and the other person therefore becomes the abuser, right? So in let's say the husband's house, they feel that she is exploiting him, and in the wife's house they feel that he is exploiting her. We will never know the truth, right? We are not judges. We can only be advocates. We know only one side of the story. I know the wife's story, I do not know the husband's story, or sometimes I know the husband's story, I do not know the wife's story. So I'm not here to judge what people should be doing. That is for each couple to decide for themselves what they should be doing. But these are the indicators. So see if your husband talks to you very nicely but is actually abusive, by not allowing you access to money, by saying, why do you need to take a job, I'm earning well, and things like that. See how much of it is to control you, and see how much of it is sheer love, and therefore asking you not to take up a job. Because suddenly at 32, if you have never taken up a job, you have zero confidence to hold on to a job, because you passed out as an MBA at the age of 22, 23, you got married, and 10 years you never took up a job. After that, abusing you becomes very easy, and it is very easy to abuse you, especially if you don't have great parental support or things like that. Then what do you do, right? So be careful, look at the indicators, understand there is help around. I mean, people like me do talk to such victims. Go to a lawyer. There are ways to come out of it. You have to make the choice of whether you want to come out of it. Thank you.